All right, welcome to beginner yoga. Um, I, we're going to start in seated, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone that joins into the class today has blocks. So I am a couple of minutes early, but I just want to make sure that you have blocks so that you're more able to access certain poses. And um, we'll give you a moment to do that. And we're gonna start, always I like to start class in a seated position so that we can start to work on the breath, because breath is always the main focus in your yoga practice. Getting into a pose into a deeper variation of a pose is going to require deep connection with the breath, number one, and then working on maybe working on that area of your practice over and over. So let's start seated on a block, and we'll just come to seated with legs crossed. And if this is not accessible to you, you can always come to seated in a diamond posture where your knees are bent and you bring the block in between your legs and have us sit back on the block. So find your best place, and we'll start. Let's start by taking a nice deep inhale and exhaling through the mouth. One more time, nice deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. All right. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Sitting up on a block helps to bring the spine into more of a neutral alignment. So lift up through the crown of your head and try not to arch your back here, but maybe slightly tuck your tailbone. Tuck your chin slightly. And give a nice soft gaze toward the floor, or even close the eyes if that feels good to you. And we'll just begin by breathing in and out through the nose. And here we just want to begin to notice the quality of the breath. So you're noticing whether or not the breath gets stuck at the top of your inhale or at the bottom of your exhale or anywhere in between. And then from here, moving into a three-part breathing pattern. So on your next inhale, you're going to allow the belly to fill. Your rib cage will expand, and you'll notice the chest rise. Exhaling, chest lowers. Gently hug the ribs. and draw your navel toward your spine. Keep going here, filling up on your inhales. And then allowing the exhale to become slightly longer than your inhale, even if it's a second longer. Focus on your deep breathing. When you're ready, you can start to blink the eyes open. On your next exhale, drop your chin to chest, and we'll just do a few neck circles here. We're not making full circles all the way around, but just inhaling ear to shoulder, exhaling to center, and inhaling toward the other side. So keep going and continue to use your breath and to sync your breath with your movement. Make your way back to center. Inhale the head up and few shoulder circles here. Back and forward. Noticing any cracking or crunching that's going on here, it's perfectly normal. Bringing hands together, interlace your fingers, and we'll make some circles with the wrists. One direction, full circles all the way around. Switch directions. Inhale, press through the palms, drop your chin to chest, and round the shoulders here. Exhale, release, re-interlace behind you. Press down through the tops of the hands, lift up through the heart, look up. Exhale, release. Go ahead and come off of your block. Scoot it out of the way for just a moment. Extend your legs out in front. Shake it out a bit. So you're leaning back into your hands. You're lifting up through the heart and maybe looking up or just keeping the gaze forward, whatever feels good to you. And then flex and point the feet a few times. Come back up to seated. Scoot the leg bone back into the hip socket. Sit up nice and tall. Hands are next to the hips here, and we'll do some circles with the ankles. As you flex the toes toward the body, spread them nice and wide. Switch directions. And then one more time, shake it out a bit. We're coming back into this staff posture, so sitting up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale as you draw your right knee in. Give it a little squeeze for just a moment. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to grab the shin with the left hand here, and you're going to inhale this right arm up and around so that your hand comes behind you. You're keeping your heart nice and lifted. You can even lean into the elbow just a bit if you'd like, or lean into the hand just a little bit by bending the elbow. You can keep your gaze forward or even start to look over the shoulder. Nice gentle twist here. Breathe. One more breath. And inhale back to center. Exhale, one more squeeze. Inhale, re-extend the right leg. All right, take another deep inhale from here. Exhale, draw the left knee in. Give it a little squeeze here for just a moment. And we're gonna twist on this side. So bringing right hand to your shin here, maybe to the knee. You're gonna inhale, left arm around. You're sort of windmilling that arm around so that the hand comes behind you. Lean into the hand. If it feels good to you, just a bit. Keep the heart lifted best you can. You can keep your gaze forward, or you can start to look over the left shoulder. So whatever feels good in your practice. Breathe. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, start to lift up through the heart. Look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Start to drop the tailbone here. Inhale, center. So we'll do this cat-cow movement a few more times here. So at your own pace. One more time, inhaling, lifting up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, drop the tailbone, chin to chest. Inhale back to center. Exhale, draw the navel in. So we're going to work on a nice gentle twist for the upper body. And before we do that, I'd just like to maybe make some circular motions here, just sort of opening up different parts of the body. Keep your fingers spread nice and wide. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. And we'll start to inhale, move forward. Exhale, press the hips back. So we're circling around here. Try to keep the core engaged. And let's switch directions. All right, we're back to center. From here, you're going to inhale, lift the right arm high. Exhale, slide that right arm through. And we're working on a gentle twist for the upper body here. Head comes to the mat. Your shoulder is on the mat. And then you're gonna take the left arm and maybe, if it's accessible to you, maybe reach for the top of your mat. So let's take 2 breaths here. Slide that left hand back under the left shoulder. Gently press into the left hand as you inhale. Slide that right arm back through. Exhale back to the mat. Readjust yourself. Make sure you're in correct alignment here. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hip bones. And we'll do the other side. When you're ready, inhaling left arm up. Exhaling, sliding that left arm through, making your way onto shoulder and head. If it's accessible to you, you can start to reach the right arm towards the top of your mat. Breathe. Sliding that right arm back under the right shoulder. On your next inhale, you're going to gently press into that right hand. Slide the left arm back through. Inhale. Exhale back to the mat. All right. From here, you're going to tuck the toes under. And we're going to come into our first downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, you're going to lift the knees and start to press the hips back. So you're sort of in an upside down V here. You can start to bend the knees in and out to open up the hamstrings, or you can start to maybe walk it out. So you're looking to press the heels down into your mat. You're pressing your your sit bones back towards the where the wall and the ceiling meet. Breathe. And then go ahead and make your way into that downward dog. So pressing the heels down. If the heels don't make it all the way to your mat, that's okay. You can even put a bend in the knees. That's all right as well. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knees. Untuck your toes and press your hips back into child's pose. Slide the hands back beside the knees, and on your next inhale, keep your chin tucked and start to roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Your head will come up last. Few shoulder rolls here once you make it up. All right, so from here, let's make our way back into a tabletop position. We're going to start to, we're going to slide the right foot through the hands. So you're here, we're making our way into like a runner's lunge, right? So if if the palms don't make it all the way to the floor without the spine rounding, grab your blocks and place your blocks under your hands. Check that your knee and your ankle are in line with each other. And from here, we're just gonna start to exhale, press the hips back. Inhale, back into your runner's lunge. And we'll just do this a few times. This is also a way to open up the hamstrings. All right, come back into your lunge. So if you want to come into a deeper version of this pose, you can tuck the back toes under and start to scoot your knee back. So wherever you're at, if you want to try that, you can keep the toes tucked under to sort of help to keep some of the pressure off the knee as well. Wherever you're at is okay. I'm just going to come to this variation of the pose. From here, we're going to do another twist. So if your hands make it to the mat, that's okay. If not, keep your right palm resting on your block, and you're going to inhale this left arm so that your arms are in one straight line here. And try not to lean down into your leg, but press down into that right hand so you're lifting out from the shoulder. You don't want your ear and your shoulder to be too close to each other here. You can look up, or you can even look forward, or even at the floor, whatever works for you. One more breath here. Exhale and release. To meet the left, so knees are directly under the hip bones. We're back in our tabletop position. Inhale, look towards the top of your mat. Exhale, draw your navel in. Inhale, slide the left foot through this time. So again, if you want a little more of a stretch, you can tuck the back toes under and scoot that right knee back. Otherwise, we'll stay here. Bring your blocks. So hands are on your blocks here. Check your alignment. Knee and ankle should be in line with each other. And we'll sink the hips back. So inhale here at center. Exhale back. Inhale, center. Okay. Sorry about the confusion here, the miscommunication, the connection here. So let's come back into the tabletop position, and we're just going to start to move from table into child just a few times. So you're here in your tabletop position. Exhale, back to child. Inhale back into tabletop. Exhale, child. One more time into that tabletop position. One more time to child. Inhale back to center. And this time we're going to come up on the knees. So you can use an extra mat or even a blanket under your knees if that's helpful to you. And we're going to work on a pose called half circle. So you're going to make your way up onto the knees. Actually, bring one block to the left side of you. Okay? We're here up on the knees, and you're going to extend the right leg. All right? So we're here with the right leg extended. From here, we're going to slide this block a little closer. If your hand can make it to the floor, that's okay too. But for right now, we're going to come here. We're going to make sure that the arch of the foot is in line with the knee. So we're here. On your next exhale, you're going to start to lean into the shoulder are not touching. Look towards the fingertips or even out in front of you. If you want to deepen this posture just a bit, you can start to bring the arm across and open up the side body, maybe gazing towards the floor. Breathe. Inhale, re-extend that hand. We're going to make our way back up. Draw the right leg back in, and we'll do the other side. So move your block over to the right side this time, right next to the knee. Make your way back up onto the knees. You're going to extend your left leg this time. Sole of the foot is on the mat. The arch of the foot is in line with the knee. You may need to scoot your block a little closer. And when you're ready, inhale here at center. Exhale, start to lean into this block. Make sure that the ear and the shoulder are away from each other, and then start to inhale and extend that left arm. Fingertips reaching for the ceiling. You're just pressing the hips forward, so don't let your hips come back, but start to press the hips forward so that you keep the front line of the body nice and open. Breathe. And if you want to deepen the posture a bit more, you can start to bring this arm over and around. So you're keeping the hips pressing forward. You're starting to open up the side body. You're breathing into the side body to open up those intercostal muscles. Keep breathing. And again, gaze is always wherever it is comfortable for your neck and your shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Maybe bring hands to hips. And you can slide that right or left foot back to center. So you're back on your knees. Maybe sit back on your heels for a minute just to give the knees a little break. And this time we're going to come into a similar posture, and it's it's called gate pose, and it's very similar to what we just did. This time, it's a little bit different as far as the foot placement. So you're gonna bring your block back to the opposite side. Inhale, come back onto the knees. All right. You're gonna extend your right leg so that your heel and your knee are in line. You're flexing through this right foot, okay? So this time, you're gonna lean into, so you can bring, you're leaning into your right leg, but you can bring your hand to your right hand to your thigh, or wherever it is comfortable for you. You can start to move down the leg. So we're here. When you're ready, you're gonna inhale, top arm up. So again, wherever it is comfortable for the right hand to be. And just notice where you're at. One more breath. And come back up. Slide the right foot back. Come back to your knees. Maybe sit back on your heels for a moment and give the knees a little love. And we'll do the other side. Just squat there just in case you need it. Inhale back to the knees. This time we're going to extend the left leg. You're coming to the heel this time and flexing through that left foot. Knee and heel are in line. Okay, you're still pressing the hips forward. So try not to sink the hips back, but press the hips forward. And again, your left hand is going to come to the thigh or below the knee, never resting on the knee, but a thigh, below the knee, or even towards the ankle, wherever you're at is okay. Inhale, right arm up. Maybe start to look towards the fingertips, or even keep your gaze forward. Wherever you're at is okay. One more breath. Bring that right hand back down. Come back to the knees. Sit back on the heels. Give the knees a little love. All right. So from here, let's make our way up to standing. You're going to come to standing at the top of your mat, and your feet are hip distance apart. So your hip bones down through your knees and ankles. You want to spread your toes nice and wide, always for a nice, good energy flow through the body here. So I'm going to turn to face you. I'm going to show you a couple of the pose facing you and then toward the side so that you can see what it looks like in both ways. We're going to grab a block, place it just out in front. All right, so we're working on a twist from a standing forward fold. So bring the feet a little more than hip distance apart. Bring the hands to the hips. You can put a slight bend in your knees here. Draw the shoulders back and down and start to lift up through your crown. Inhale deeply. Exhale, fold. So you're hinging at your hip creases. You're folding forward. And we're just going to bring the right hand to the block. So the block is at highest height. It's in between the feet. Not directly in between the feet, but just out in front of you. So maybe directly under the face. You're resting your right palm on that block, and you're going to start to inhale this left arm up. So we're coming to a nice twist here. And wherever, if you can't come to the full expression of this pose, that's okay. Find your best place. Breathe. Exhale back to center. And we're going to do the other side. So bringing left hand to the block. When you're ready, you're going to start to inhale, right arm parallel, reaching through the fingertips. Gaze is wherever is comfortable. That's towards the mat, forward, or even towards the fingertips. Breathe. Exhale, back to center. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale your way back to standing. Move your block out of the way. And from here, we're going to do a little half moon. So in half moon, there's a few different ways that you can do this. You can inhale and use both arms, or you can bring a hand to hip. This way. So let's start with just one hand to the hip. So you're bringing your feet to hip distance, toes are spread nice and wide. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale. Exhale, draw your navel in. We're going to inhale the right arm up and over. So you can keep the arm nice and extended, or you can even bring it to more of a goal post position, and that helps to keep the heart open if it's here. Either way that feels good to you. And start to press that right hip towards the right side of the room. You can start to look towards the armpit. Try not to arch the back, but you're still keeping the hips pressing forward. Breathe. One more breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Shake out anything that needs to be shaken out. Maybe the legs, maybe the hands. All right, come back into your equal standing posture, hips, knees, and ankles. Spread the toes. And we're going to do the other side. So bringing right hand to right hip. Try not to arch the back, but keep the tailbone nice and tucked. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale. Exhale, draw the navel in. Inhale, left arm comes up. Pressing the hips towards the left. Maybe looking towards the armpit here. Maybe keeping your gaze forward wherever it feels good to the neck and shoulders. Breathe. Inhale, center. Hand comes back to the hips. Bend the knees in and out a few times. All right. Maybe a few shoulder rolls. Let's make our way back down onto the mat. So go ahead and come to the mat and come to knees bent, and the feet are flat on your mat here. All right. Soles of the feet are on your mat. Your knees are hip distance apart. Grab behind the knees and sit up nice and tall. Inhale. Exhale, lean back into the hands, tuck your tailbone, and make your way onto the back. Go ahead and draw the knees in. Your neck is nice and long on your mat. You're going to start to give a little rock side to side. And then maybe even a few knee circles. In both directions. Inhale the knees away from the body. Bring your feet out to either edge of your mat so your knees are still bent. Your feet are out to either edge of your mat, and bring your arms out to a T in line with your shoulders. Inhale here at center. Exhale, allow the knees to drop to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. A few more times on each side, only moving on your breath, with your breath. Inhale your knees back to center. Extend your legs the length of your mat. Bring your arms down by your sides. Your palms are facing up. You're going to start to draw the shoulder blades together and keep the heart nice and open. Allow your feet to drop open and palms are facing up. Neck continues to stay nice and long on your mat. So in that way, your chin maybe starts to tuck slightly. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth. And we're just going to start to make our way back into a normal breathing pattern. Doing a quick scan of the body and just noticing if there are areas of tightness that still remain in the body. See if you can allow yourself to release that here. Allow your body to be nice and heavy and start to melt into the mat beneath you. Let the body be quiet. Allow the body to be still. On your next inhale, just reach your arms overhead and give a nice full body stretch here, even flexing through the heels. We're going to bend the knees from here. Make your way over onto the side body. And then press into your hands and forearm to inhale your way back into a seated position. We're going to come back to legs crossed. Take a moment here. Remember how you felt before your practice started and how you might be feeling now. Bring your hands together at heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me in this beginner yoga class this morning or this afternoon, midday. Enjoy the rest of your day and week. Namaste.